Hello everyone. Man, it's been a long time since our last episode, so let's get right to it. And how old are these updates? Sadly, Dawn of the Devs was unable to reach its goal, only making about 30% of its target. The developers, Underdog Studios, have announced their intention on making smaller games at the moment with hopes they can come back to it in the future. During the time we were away, Wasteland 3 was funded. Following their last successful campaign back in 2012, inXile brought Wasteland 3 to Fig, where they made over $3 million. And lastly, Bloodstained on Wii U. In a recent interview with IGN, Igarashi essentially said about the Wii U version's fate, quote, "Sometimes new pieces of hardware come out that make you think about what is the right strategy. And as a creator, usually you want to make stuff for the new hardware. That's the reality. However, this was a game that was backed by people, and we made promises to listen to them. They are the people that gave us life, so to speak. Any sort of change that we do or are considering that goes outside the scope of the promises we've made must be done with lots of explanation, must be done with lots of care, and must be done with lots of back and forth with them to see what options we've had. We must listen to them at the end of the day, and we've had made promises. Essentially, it's up to us as backers to keep the Wii U version alive if desired. With most U owners making the switch to, Switch, I guess we'll have to wait and see when the game is released in 2018. Now, I know there's one last bit of news, but I'll save that for later. This is some late-breaking news, and folks, this is a big one. Playtonic have confirmed that Yooka-Laylee will finally be released on April 11th next year. However, with some tragic news. Due to unforeseen technical issues, the Wii U version has been cancelled. However, they have confirmed the game will be moved to the Nintendo Switch. While we're unsure how long Switch users will have to wait, or if any extra content will be made available as compensation, they have given Wii U backers a chance to change their pledge to another system, or outright ask for a refund. While we just talked about the Bloodstained situation, this is the sad reality of the Wii U. When even a game who basically was made for the Nintendo audience couldn't even keep it on there. Battle Chef Brigade released an early access version to backers a little while back, and we had the pleasure of checking it out. You play as aspiring chef Mina, who leaves her small town to take part in an Iron Chef-like contest with humans, elves, and orcs. The way the game goes is each battle has a key ingredient which you should make sure to get when you're killing all amounts of creatures and gathering food. Each food has a certain combination of color circles, and it's your job to arrange those so they can get in groups of 3. The hand-drawn art design hands itself very well, and the combat is fairly well planned out as well. So what this game essentially is a beat-em-up puzzle game, with dishes so fancy and extravagant, I feel like I'm watching MasterChef again. The game is set to be released in early 2017. The RetroEngine Sigma is a tiny Genesis case with the ability to play a giant variety of emulators, from Commodore to N64, to Amstrad to Dreamcast. As soon as the preview trailer released, however, people started noticing things, like Emulation Station, which is used for LibRetro's RetroArch system, and people believing the system was just a Raspberry Pi with RetroPie illegally installed into it. When their Indiegogo campaign released a few days ago, put way down at the bottom of the page, was the Sigma's tech specs, and honestly, they aren't that impressive. I even contacted the company behind it, Diodo, and they have made it clear to me this is not a Raspberry Pi, and no unauthorized software will be installed in the system. And after some research, and thanks to our emulation over at Reddit, I can confirm this isn't a Raspberry Pi. No, it's an Orange Pi. Or more specifically, an Orange Pi Lite. Here are the Orange Pi Lite specs, and here are the Sigmas. Huh. They are exactly alike. And the placement of the USB ports is exactly the same. It's almost like this guy took an Orange Pi Lite and put a Genesis case on it. An Orange Pi Lite that costs only $20, by the way. And keep in mind, a Raspberry Pi 3B, which is the latest board, has twice the RAM and costs only $35. So this guy is asking for $60 to $80 so you can get a $20 Raspberry Pi knockoff in a Genesis case. Or you could buy a Raspberry Pi for $35, install Emulation Station, Lucky, Kodi, fuck anything you want, and even 3D print your own custom case for it. Hell, that's a Kickstarter I'd back. Custom retro console cases for Pis. And as of right now, this project has racked in over $300,000. $300,000 for this device. But this hasn't been the first time someone's taken a Pi and tried to make something like this, and won't be the last. But keep in mind, the inlayers this thing is using aren't original custom-made ones. They're the same ones everyone has been using for years. And I can tell you from experience, the Dreamcast one still has many problems to iron out. But if you think this is worth your money, then what can I do to stop ya? And lastly, if you haven't heard by now, Shantae Half Genie Hero is finally set for release on the 20th of December. As someone who has already delved into the backer early release on PC, I can already tell you this game looks and plays really good. Now, as the reason I'm not featuring it in this episode, it's mainly because I want to feature it in this video I'm planning next year. Early next year, I'll be featuring all 4 Shantae games in one jam-packed episode dubbed the Shantae Respective. But who knows? Maybe she'll appear somewhere before then. I'll see you all next time.